just spoke about the FIGO wheel of women's health. What exactly is that? Is that a new initiative? And what does that wheel comprise of?
Actually, we kept on, talking very much about how we're missing the opportunities. Like how you said, we miss the bus. Okay, if she comes at a particular age group, we're just quick fixing her problem for what she has come. But there are so many things around that you can do at the same visit to integrate the care in that sense and also prepare her for her next phase of life. So we thought, as a committee of FIGO Well Women Healthcare, which I was chairing, and now I'm the division director. So we said, let's put our brains together to see what a girl and a woman, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, and right across her life course, what does she need? And then the concept evolved into something called Wellness on Wheels, because it's a Well Women's Healthcare and we wanted to focus on preventive care and wellness. What are the opportunities? Suppose you're trying to fix the problem of anemia in pregnancy, for example. What did you do before she became pregnant? You could have as well fixed the problem then, and then she could have embarked on the pregnancy in the pink of her health. The same way you're doing an abortion today. Safe abortion is what we are talking about. Why did the pregnancy happen in the first place? Why didn't you offer a contraceptive advice? So on working backwards, we created an entire wheel, which is the FIGO Wellness Wheel, the famous FIGO Wellness Wheel, which I'm really proud of, because it's a quick check both for the women themselves and the healthcare providers that these are the things, touch points need to be addressed, maximize the opportunity when she is in the healthcare system. So that is how the wheel evolved. So when we say across the life course, there's a thing on climate change in the first place, because that's a big issue in the world. And we've also done some studies where the doctors don't know what this should mean for us and what we should be telling the patients about. What is the guidance that we have to give, like not using plastics, not using these non-stick pans and also the pesticides which are in question. And there are a lot many more simple things of contaminants and what she could do in a simple way within her family to avert this. And also the pregnant women who now, the apartments on the highways, for example, there is so much dust and the environmental toxin that the women is breathing in. It's not typically about the smoking and the alcohol, the typical history we take. Where does she live? When, with people who are living in the side roads or interiors are not so much exposed to the highway kind of congested and also the visits to the malls, for example, there's so much carbon dioxide in the air and there's so much happening. So, and also in the rural where, simple things like even agarbatti or the incense sticks that they use, the fragrance which comes out of that may be good, but it carries a lot of toxins. The mosquito coils, those are something that you need to be aware of, that they could be adding to the environmental toxins, for example. And then now, okay, the cooking gas has changed into a gas in many, many households. But if they cook with the charcoal and the wooden sticks and then like a bonfire they make, and they are in a closed chamber. The houses are so small. There's no ventilation. She's engulfing everything that is happening within that chamber. So all of these practical points we have to recognize and also guide her to be aware of that and come out of it. So climate change has been given the first position in this FIGO Wellness Wheel because the global community recognizes that as a big problem. We're still coming to terms with that of how FIGO will make its position statement, how it will give the guidance to the OBGYNs in general to play their roles in the climate change. Then it goes on to speak about menstrual health and hygiene, then the mental health and checking for the sexually transmitted diseases, contraception, infertility, and the issues related to that, pre-pregnancy care, and the high-risk pregnancy, how they should prevent it or tap it into it early enough so that, the best of the care can be given, and then the general wellness part of it, and the NCDs, because every other women may have hypertension or diabetes as the age advances, early detection of cancers, which is a big thing, and also femtech playing a very big role in this space as well, for breast cancers, for mass screenings. And there is you can take the saliva of a person and then detect the cancers, for example. So new innovations are coming in, which means that anywhere and everywhere these tests could be done. So that is the importance of a mass screening and early detection. And moving on to the perimenopausal and menopausal state. So it's all the way across the life course that you can do many, many things, and immunization, nutrition not to be forgotten, because that percolates in the entire scenario with the triple burden of malnutrition, as we call it. There is underweight on one side, obesity on the other, and multiple micronutrient deficiencies sandwiched in the center. So the problems are many, but there is a way to solve them. So we say, go ahead, wellness on wheels, and we wish you the best in every phase of your life. So that is a new concept, and this similar thing is given in we have a younger group of gynecologists in the FIGO circles, whom we have I put them on the job to make TikTok type of videos, and the social media awareness generation, because we have to talk to them without the technical jargons. We have to speak to them in the language that they understand and they can make sense out of, and typically very, very smart short clips which remains in their head like an advertorial for forever. So all of these advocacy activities, and even if any young girl or a woman looks at the wheel, they can figure out all these points. They can relate to some of the touch points in their lives where they could go and ask their doctor a question or two. So it's like both sides of the coin, the demand and the supply. The quality of both should escalate to have a better world and healthier.
For instance, climate change and women's health is something that we didn't even know about. And you also spoke about menopause and perimenopause. And I think that's also something that not many women care to voice out. And now with Femtech trying to bridge that as well, I think it's brilliant.
Because I think it's a mindset that women were given to understand that they have to just go through this phase of life, come what may, they have to grin and bear it, and then nobody is anyway paying any attention, and they think that menopausal mood swings are just a part of a crankiness, and the lot of hormone changes that happen which impact the bones and the heart and the skin dryness, for example. There's a lot more to it beyond the menstrual problems which they usually come to us to fix. If it's a serious menstrual problem, then they want the uterus out, and there's a whole watch on the unnecessary hysterectomies happening in today's world. And so, there is a lot of alternatives that we can offer, but for all of that, then we need to either reach out to the women or for them to come to our doorstep, and the quality of the healthcare provision. Any which healthcare setting she goes, who are providing the healthcare? If they're basic level people, at least they should know the basic things that they have to do, and they should know their limitations as well, and they can escalate it to the next level. Because our healthcare system, from sub-centers to primary healthcare to community healthcare to district hospitals to the major public health hospitals in the metros, it's very well streamlined. People can take the same route and declutter, because many things can be solved at the primary level. But that is what is being refocused upon, both by the government and in public-private partnership with organizations like ourselves. We are trying to do a lot more, because the current scenario is that the buck is passed on, because they are not really built the capacity to offer. They don't know what is the situation and what they could do, so they don't want to take any chances, put to the next level. Like everything comes and gets jammed up in the major public health tertiary care system, where 80% of them could have been managed before they reached there. So that is, what is the change that we want to see, and be the change you want to see is what is often said by the likes of Gandhi. So we say that if we want to facilitate this, then we are building a whole cadre of what we call as Swasthya Sakhis. They're wellness ambassadors. They're just people in the community, wise girls and women who enroll into our course through Artist and give an online exam through the health sector skill council, HSSC as it's called, and they're certified, and they will go on a camp style, door-to-door style, on the video connect with us, and a cluster of 20 villages into one health center where the Swasthya Sakhis are placed, and we connect with them to reach the last mile. So there's a lot happening, and as I said, these things should not be one-off examples. Right? It has to scale, and it has to reach every nook and corner. And if you really see the statistics of how many districts are there in India, in each state, and how many villages are there in each district, and if you have to say we have 2 centers, then we say we have 200 centers, we have 2,000 centers. Not enough. We have to have 60 lakh centers, because that is the scale which may make a, impact. But we have to start somewhere. So we know that this is a blueprint, this is a model that is working. The Swasthya Sakhis are very happy to render the kind of services that they have been asked to render, because they feel like, very proud of the fact that they're helping somebody being well. So many women coming for their regular blood pressure checkups or blood sugar checks, height and weight, and the kind of problems that they express in these small little clinics where the Swasthya Sakhis are running, they can immediately identify what's not right and connect to the video call to the specialists in the cities. And this cannot happen without the technology. So there is, the big data there showing us what the gaps are and where we must invest our time and energies to get the population into a wellness bracket. So prevent illness and promote wellness. That is again a very, very strong concept that we are trying to drive in. And just like smart cities, we are toying with the idea of wellness villages, because we want everybody in the village to have their health records move towards the wellness bracket.
So what do you think the role of AI is? We're scared that it's going to take over the world, but with respect to healthcare, ma'am, what are your ideas around AI?
I really think it's very, very important for healthcare because it's very complementary. Because it's often said that God can't be everywhere, so He made mothers. So specialists and doctors and healthcare providers can't be everywhere, so He made the AI. It's like that actually, because what happens is now the AI algorithms are evolving in a much, much comprehensive and a sensible way. So we have tied up with an organization called IntelliHealth, where very seamlessly the Swasthya Sakhis have been given the know how to use it, and the next question is already prompted there. Then the next question comes there. So that is the power of AI. And they are also reassured that they're not missing anything. And then finally, when it comes to, it gives them a kind of a traffic signal. Every question which they have answered leads them to the green zone. Then they know that they can reassure this patient and send her back. If it leads them to the amber, they know that they have to video connect with the doctor, because there's something more that needs to be done for this patient. If it's red flag, then immediate emergency number is there and they have to send them, call for the ambulance and send them there. So this is great. I mean, how could you have done this manually in every nook and corner, especially the Indian role model if we create, then if it works here, it will work everywhere. And so many parts of Africa where we're constantly telling about the 3 A's. There's no access to healthcare, affordability is a problem, awareness is a problem. Okay, then create awareness, make it affordable through technology, and access is, again, the technology is the answer. How can you ensure the quality of care? It's by AI. There is a lot happening there where the machines can do better and make the humans not miss anything. So that, and also it's not only with respect to video consultation, one example which I gave, but there are many more things like the breast scans, for example, the mammography scans or the pap smear, the dilemma in interpreting this. Just put it through a centralized AI, it should have seen so many thousands and it recognizes what pattern that is. So even in the remotest part, you get a quality driven report. You can't make the human errors are eliminated. So in that sense, I think it is really not going to replace us. We're not worried about that. But when it gives us the clue of what next to be done, I think that's a great step in itself. So we would love the AI to occupy the center stage in the
Oh,
near
great.
future.
That's really nice, man. Because I think a lot of doctors, one of the things that they're worried about is it going to take or will it replace us? But like you rightly said, it's something that we need to leverage.